When I was 8 years old, my father, the one man who I idolized more than even the great Steve Irwin, told me that he was being deployed to Iraq to fight in the war. Now, to me, this was the most devastating thing that could and would ever happen. Think about it for a moment. Try to imagine yourself as a child with barely any grasp of the world outside your little town in northeastern Pennsylvania, having just found out that your dad had to go to a place that you really didn't know about. You only knew it was where the bad people were. Of course, these days I can barely remember anything about him being gone. Childhood memories have a funny way of disappearing on you like that. What I have at that time is more of an emotional connection, an early loss that probably helped me grow up faster than a lot of the other kids. But the one thing I do remember about those 18 months, mainly because I repeated the process just 2 years ago, is the satellite phone. I remember calling my dad every evening to say goodnight, and being forced to wait as our home phone tried to connect to a small piece of plastic in a desert halfway around the world. To my 8-year-old self, that phone was my dad for more than a year. It asked me about school and told me to look after my younger brother, and offered me encouragement and reassurance, just like my dad would have done had he been right there with me. That phone even made an appearance at my uncle's wedding, making sure the best man could still toast to his brother's marriage, though with a dusty water bottle instead of a champagne flute. It's funny how things like that, tiny snippets of everyday conversation, can all add up to become something of a lifeline. To me, that's exactly what that phone was, a way to beat back the fear and uncertainty that came with the knowledge that my dad was in danger every second of every day for 18 long, grueling months. Hearing my dad's voice at night, grainy and far off, gave me the courage I needed to make it through all of those months without him. Today, that whole chunk of time seems just as far away as the desert sands of Iraq. But those phone calls, about 547 of them to be exact, are something I still carry with me to this day. Sure, I may not remember the exact words that passed between my dad and I, but I still hold on to the meaning behind them. Distance breaks down the barricades between any relationship, including ours. The absence of anything but love and respect I have for my dad comes from those phone calls. So, even though it's been 10 years since I've had to use one, I still believe in satellite phones.